Hello, good day, students. You are welcome to this art class, and I am your teacher, Mr. DASSAH, PN. Topic for today is the origin and history of art. We're going to be talking about the origin and history of our goals for this class today are: 1. To discover culture, to define culture rather, to state the early man's occupation, also mention where he lived, to find out the 4 Nigerian traditional arts that you are going to be taught, mention the Nigerian arts, how they are highly related. As we are going to mention the Nigerian arts that are highly related and explain the meaning of terracotta. What is art? Art is self-expression, especially things that are well made or created. It is believed to have started in the Paleolithic period or Stone Age. The Paleolithic period is a period that existed about 2 million years ago. The early man was a wanderer whose work was majorly hunting, and he lived in caves. In the caves where he lived, he drew pictures of animals that he intended to hunt, and his major food was animals for meat and fruits for vegetables. He even improvised his colors by using red and yellow sand, soil. He mixed it with animal fat to get some of the colors that he used for his paintings. And he strongly believed that each time he did a painting or a drawing of the animals, he had the power to overcome the animals during the hunt. That was how he managed to do a lot of things. Now, the Neolithic period is the New Stone Age, where that came up many years later after the Paleolithic period. This time around, the early man had developed his lifestyle. He had changed his lifestyle, living in communities now, and started doing some work like farming and rearing of domestic animals just to care for his family. Some of the things the early man made were a grinding stone, a stone axe, spears from stone and wood, baskets from grass and reed, rope and mats, animal skin for clothes. Also made houses and huts and tents to live in. He no longer lived in the caves. Now, that's just the first part of this. Now let's look at the second part: arts and culture in Nigeria. Nigeria is a very big country that is made up of so many ethnic groups, or tribes rather, which are recognized by their different languages, art, and culture. Culture is known as a total way of life of a group of people. This includes their language, their belief, their food, mode of dressing, music, dance, songs, agriculture, art and craft. These are what make up culture. Everything that is involved in your lifestyle. Now, talking about Nigeria. In Nigeria, before the missionaries came, our forefathers had a religion. They called it the African traditional religion. They all believed in one supreme God who they could neither see nor touch. They thought of smaller gods that would be like a go-between, a link for them between them and the supreme God that they couldn't see. The smaller gods were molded, carved, or casted and kept in the shrines. Now, these gods were perfect and beautiful works of art created by highly skilled craftsmen. There were also festivals, so we call it described as social events. These festivals and ceremonies were of various kinds. These events were celebrated with music, dance, costumes, masks, masquerades, and other cultural displays. Then the last part of this lesson is the Nigerian traditional artworks. Because we have been going down from the breaking it down from early man to the introduction to the Nigerian scenery, and now. First of the works that I want to talk about in Nigeria is called Nok Terracotta heads, Nok Art. These are made of terracotta heads found in central Nigeria, revealed that Nok culture existed between 500 BC and 500 AD. That's a long time. Nok Art, you can see this is an example of a Nok Art. You can see the features, how the eyes look, the holes that were used for the eyes, nose, nostrils, and the mouth. All were likened to that. But the basic shape of the work is a conical, cylindrical shape of the head. Their heads were not really braided, but filled with some cloth, according to how it was molded. This is just one of the Nok artworks. The next artwork we want to look at is Igbo-Ukwu Art. Igbo-Ukwu is found in Anambra State. In the 9th and 10th century, they were first artworks in bronze in sub-Saharan Africa. Now, Igbo-Ukwu, you can see how the works look like. Slightly different from the Nok Art, but they are also terracotta heads. By the way, I've not described to you what a terracotta head is. Terracotta heads are heads that were molded from clay and fired very, very well. They can stay very long. Some of them have stayed for more than 1,000 years. This is the Igbo-Ukwu pot vase that has a rope, and this is a bronze work, highly celebrated. Okay, we're looking at Ife art now. Ife art comes from the Yoruba central area, from Ife. The Yoruba culture also developed a special skill in bronze casting and ceramic sculpture. In the 20th century, they sculpted beautiful portrait busts, heads, and statues of Onis. That's the rulers of the Yoruba culture. You can see examples of Ife art. Then we have the Benin art. Benin is found in Edo State, Nigeria, and is known to. They are known very well for their ivory artwork and bronze, brass work, and carving. Benin City is their cultural center. Benin art has a lot of relationships with Ife art. Maybe it is because of how close they are with Ife, about 100 kilometers. The Oba of Benin and the Oni of Ife had a diplomatic relationship. In Benin, when an Oba died, his head was sent to Ife, and in its place, a bronze memorial was sent back. I'd like to explain this briefly, because what happens is in Ife, they had this advanced skill of doing brass works, but in Benin it was much later in life that they got to learn the skill. So, and Benin people, with their love for royalty and it's an epic center, memorial city, and an ancient city. What they did as of then was, if a king dies, his head is sent to Ife, where the craftsmen will cast the head. They will cast the head into a memorial. That's the memorial that was sent back. It's more like for them to have something to remember the king with, something to remember the king of. So the head of the king has been casted into a bronze and then sent back to Benin. I don't know if they kept it in the shrine or they kept it in the palace, but for a long list of kings that have ruled or reigned in Benin, their heads were kept there in bronze forms. It got to a point where the king, one of the kings in Benin, had to request for a master craftsman from Ife to come and teach them. And the Oni of Ife sent his son to come and do that, to come and carry out the assignment. So when he came and did that now, Benin people learned how to do that work. And that's how their own works were strictly meant for royalty. They didn't do their works for any commercial purposes. Their works went for royalty. This is an example of Benin work. You can see this is the famous Benin mask. You can see the features, the eyes. Okay, so our assignment is here now. Let's look at what we have. What is culture? What is the early man's occupation? Where did the early man live? Mention 4 Nigerian traditional arts that you have been taught. Which of the Nigerian arts are highly related? And what is the meaning of terracotta? Thanks for listening.